Beast of Armageddon plus 43. Now let me actually show you what this thing does.
Yeah, boy.
Here we have a normal mob. As you can see, it one-shots, which is pretty good. Let's see how a boss will face against this.
Oh, fuck!
Okay, so you're probably wondering how I got this. Don't worry, I'll explain my process and how you can achieve your own one-shot weapon. Buckle in and grab some popcorn because this is gonna be a ride. To get to the big boy stuff, you're gonna need to take some baby steps. Let's go over some basic understanding. If you didn't know already, to craft an artifact weapon, you'll need an artifact blueprint. After that, you'll be able to craft the artifact with a few requirements.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Base demands include at least 1 silver and at least 1 gold bar. Then comes the special ingredients, which can range from being another metal or just some random things that you shove in there.
Try me,
Wait. What's this? Why are there 2 holes and why can't I craft my artifact? Since artifacts are the most powerful types of weapons and equipment in the game, undoubtedly there are going to be a few extra steps in achieving one. The 2 empty spaces represent the slots you're going to put in the extra equipment, weapons. The type of weapon you're going to insert into the slots depend on what type of artifact you're making. There are different types of weapon categories like bows and swords. It's all up to the artifact to decide what you'll put into these empty slots.
Okay.
If you're making a 2-handed sword artifact, you'll need to assemble and sacrifice 2 other 2-handed swords on top of the base materials. At the end of the process, you'll receive an artifact. Different artifact tiers can be dependent on a certain factor. Boom! So that's how you craft an artifact. Keep in mind, this information is just the basics. There's more up ahead if you want to craft a weapon like this. Moving on forward, I'm going to tell you guys a piece of information I want you to have in the back of your brain. When you are assembling your artifact, you know you need 2 sacrificial weapons. And when you're doing so, keep in mind the phrase, what you put in is what you get. That is the key to making your artifact stronger. This is reasonably self-explanatory. If you put trash as the sacrifice, you're going to get trash. If you put, let's say, other high-tier gear as your sacrifice, you're going to get a more godly weapon. Boom! Just to reiterate, what you put in is what you get. This idea or mindset should get you towards obtaining your strongest artifact. This leads us into the next topic, how to enhance sacrificial/basic weapons. Taking in the knowledge that whatever you put in will become the result, we can take this a step further. Why don't we just ignore the fact of the result and work or build on the whatever you put in part. In turn, this will make your artifact stronger. You've got 2 options when it comes to enhancing your sacrificial weapons. The first option is called transferring stats by utilizing the magic EQPT bench, bro. The option to do that is right here. Open up the menu and you're met with 2 slots and a single arrow. The biggest slot represents where you're going to insert the equipment that you want to upgrade. The smallest slot is the section where you're going to place the sacrificial material for the upgrade. A key thing to note is that this transferring stat method takes in the same key principle that we just learned about artifacts. What you put in is what you get. With the transferring stat method, it doesn't have to be specifically the same type of weapon category. It could be literally whatever. So go ahead and insert your basic weapon used for the artifact crafting into the big slot. As for the sacrifice slot, I've tried using rare sticks with the stat bonuses of +2 or +3. Then comes the cost. Who does the game think I am? Jeff Bezos? So anyway, I completed the transfer and wasted a lot of mana motes to receive like a total of +1 or +2 on each weapon. I think it's safe to say that this method is a little expensive and cost inefficient. This leads us into the next method of enhancing your basic weapons, which is more reliable and cost effective.
Nice.
At least for the mana motes part. Vision blueprints. First time playing, I would just have stacks on stacks of boxes full of these blueprints. I was confused as to if they were even good. I mean, it seems expensive too, but this is the best method to enhance your basic weapon. And here's why. After having all the required materials to continue the upgrading process, you end up with a rare weapon with a plus bonus of about 1 or 2 and a random buff. I don't know what else to say, but that's good. Alright, let's take a step back and see where we're at. Currently, you have learned to power up your basic weapons so you can use them as sacrifices for your artifact. And so you did that. You've ended up with an artifact with a plus bonus of about 6 or 7. Let's test this weapon out for a bit. As you can see, it does decent damage to normal mobs and bosses. But this isn't even its final form. You're probably like, wait, that's not anywhere near plus 201. You're correct. No, you're not. This is actually closer than you might think. Crafting that artifact with a plus bonus of about 6 or 7 is actually your first step in crafting your most powerful artifact. Let me tell you why. The plan I have devised for years to come. Taking in all the knowledge that I just taught you in the first part of the video, here's my plan to enhance your artifacts to plus 43. Number 1, craft many artifacts. We'll call these basics. To even craft many artifacts, you're going to need a few sacrificial weapons as well. Okay, pretty simple. Number 2, with a myriad of basic artifacts that you have just made, use them as sacrifices for even stronger artifacts. So now we are replacing the basic sacrificial weapons with actual artifacts. The same principle that goes whatever you put in, whatever you still applies to crafting artifacts with artifacts. In the end, you should get any amount of plus value you ever want. Pretty simple, right? This is the last step to upgrading your already powerful artifact even more. Once you're done sacrificing your artifacts for even more artifacts, or you just simply don't have enough funds to create more, there's just one extra step if you want. In the magic bench, there's an option to refine your artifacts. This one. It's like the vision blueprint, but for artifacts, since vision blueprints only work on normal or basic weapons. The steps are pretty much the same thing. Get the required materials and upgrade. The only difference is you have to utilize the Crest of Transcendence, which can be found through trading with the merchants in the game. You can of course also use the transfer stat method if you still have enough mana motes to do so. Alright guys, time to test our weapon. So this is a test on the normal mob. It one-shots, not bad. Time for the boss test. As you can see, it did a fairly good amount of damage to the boss. It took me a total of 6 hits to kill the Ruins of Light 7 boss. Now if you're not impressed, so you just saw how the Beast of Armageddon works and how much damage it'll do to a boss. I'm going to answer some questions you might have. Number 1, max plus value or level. You can virtually get the plus value to any number you want basically. There's no cap that I know of, and you can get it like plus 1000. Number 2, is it reasonable to upgrade your artifact to a high amount? No, but it sure is fun one-shotting everything you see. Number 3, how much damage can I get? Again, virtually infinite because you can upgrade infinitely. Number 4, how long did this take? Oh, you know, just the usual, not that much. I hope you guys enjoyed learning how you can make the strongest weapon. If you could, please subscribe. Thanks. Give it a try yourself and see how much plus value you can get and possibly post it on the Discord. I'll see you guys next week with, I don't know, your mom.